So, hi folks, and today I took a drive out to a little town called Viljaka. So Viljaka is about 25-30 kilometers away from where I am in Valby. So nice little town. I'm just stopped here beside the lake, and yeah, the thoughts for the day would be: is the Enfield Himalayan big enough to ride in an MC club? So on my last video, I had a couple of people saying like, why buy a Himalayan if it's not fast enough, and if it's not big enough, you need bigger. But for my situation at the time, I didn't need bigger. So an open-minded MC, yeah. I mean, think about it. Most of the speeds in Europe are top speed, maybe 120 kilometers an hour, 110 in Latvia, 90 kilometers an hour on all the local roads around here. And I'm talking, we're in the countryside, so we're very far away from Riga, where the main road would be, the motorway into Riga. So our speed is 90. Okay, no one sticks to 90. Everybody does 110. But yeah, I can keep up on the Himalayan if I have to, but I'm driving the nuts out of it, and I don't want to do that. But some MC clubs won't even entertain you. Now we're talking MC clubs, 99% clubs. We're not talking 1% clubs. I know a lot of 1% clubs won't allow you into the club unless you're on something way bigger than a Himalayan. You got to be at least 900, 1 litre. I think some clubs 750s, but everything and up. Okay, different in the States. In the States, a lot of clubs still have this only Harley rule, which I can understand that. But in America, there's a Harley Davidson in every fifth house has an old Harley in the garage out the back. Maybe it hasn't been ridden in years, sitting there ripe for restoration. In Europe, there ain't many Harleys, and when you want to buy one, you better have big pockets with a lot of money. They're very expensive. So, yeah, I'd love a Harley, but I can't afford one, and that's that, unless I get a very old one. And then you've the problem of getting parts in Latvia. It's fiercely expensive. So, yeah, I made my choice. I bought the Himalayan, and my local club said, can you get something a bit bigger? So I said, fair enough, But is it the bike, or is it the man or woman riding the bike? Is it how dedicated are you to the club? If you're completely dedicated, you could say, what's the problem? But but my situation is different. The lads in my club are a really nice bunch of lads, really nice lads. They all ride big bikes. There's only one or two smaller bikes. Everything else, you've Royal Stars, Harley Davidson, Gold Wings, and those lads will be pottering around, keeping up to the speed limit. And I'm behind, big old me on my little Himalayan, screwing the nuts out of it, trying to keep up. And I can understand when they say, yeah, you need something a bit bigger, and that's understandable. So I accept that. But realistically, like, where do you go? Like, do you say it's got nothing to do with speed? I mean, I could buy a Hayabusa, and yeah, where are you going to drive it? I don't know. What is it? Where are you going to drive it? 200 and whatever, 240, 250, 260 kilometers per hour? Nowhere, unless you're on a track. So I don't even know why they sell these bikes. Like, people can sit in the pub and say, yeah, my bike can do 260 kilometers an hour. Yeah, where are you going to do that? It's ridiculous. You're going to do it on the road and kill yourself. I know you've these YouTube guys. I think one of them used to be called Ghost Rider. I don't know if he's still around. Driving like complete twats, let's be honest. Driving like a complete idiot on the public roads, and it's all very great looking at him going, oh yeah, he's a badass, Yeah, it's all very well until he hits your family, your wife and kids in the car when they're going to the shop, and some idiot on a bike hits them at 200 kilometers an hour and plows through the car and kills them all. not so cool then, is it? I drove a truck in Ireland for between 15 and 20 years. I'm driving truck, and you're doing 50 mile per hour, and then it was increased to 55. You're doing 90 kilometers an hour, and so 90 kilometers an hour for me is perfect. I start going to 110. It's very strange. I'm like an old. I don't know what I'm like, but I don't like speed. I don't. I'll cruise all day. I just not into crazy speeds, so I just don't do speed. So what I do when I'm going to be with the club this year, I'll stay at the back. I'll go as slow as possible. I'll stick to my speed limits and get to a straight road. I'll plough along a little bit and sort of catch up and then back off a bit. And especially on the Himalayan, we've a run coming up on Saturday to Balmira. FF riders are having a rally there, so we'll go there, and I'll ride myself. I'll go in the morning, and I'll meet the lads there later on, and I'll go and do my photography. That's my Malta Latvia. That's my Facebook page. I'll do my photography, and I'll meet the lads, and we'll be together I'll be with them as a club, and then on the way home I'll ride home with them, and I'll tell them, if you want to move on, go ahead. I'll meet you at the next garage or the next time we stop for a cigarette break or ice cream or whatever, no problem. So at least my club is open-minded enough. They know me from a few years back. The last bike I had when I was with the club was a Yamaha BT 1100, the Bulldog. I loved that. It was short, stumpy, V-twin, great sound. I love twins. If the Suzuki Bandit was a twin, I'd be a lot happier about buying one, but it's not. And twins are expensive, TDM 850, that's another big twin Yamaha that I could look at later. As I said to you before, I can't afford too much to buy a second bike. That's all in the future. But yeah, you can understand why some clubs want you to be on a bigger bike. I know in the UK there's different options. The options in the UK are completely different. I see a lot of 1% clubs, and there'll be lads driving Suzuki Bandits and stuff like that. So there's all sorts of options. So the lot of Japan, it was always like that in Europe. You gotta think. In the past, a 500cc Triumph was a huge motorbike. You know what I mean? 500cc Triumph was a big bike. People were like, wow. Yeah. It's very quickly forgotten about. Now you've 1.6. My Harley was a 1.6. You have 1.6 bikes and stuff like that. So you can still only, I don't care what size your bike is, you can still only legal do 110 or 90, and everyone does 120, whatever. But I still stick to what I say. I don't see the point in having huge engines, but I suppose it's boys and their toys, isn't it? Really, if I was in the UK, I'd be riding with a club. If I was in the UK, I'd be riding with a club that has there's a big dog beside me. Big fella, come over, say hello. If I was in the UK, I'd be riding with a probably a classic club or a Royal Enfield Owners Club or something like that. But the other problem I have in Latvia is language skills. I speak some Latvian, but not great. So it's hard to find friends. I'm here 6 years now, and the good thing for me is the lads in the bike club are a lot of them speak reasonable English. So between their English and my bit of Latvian, we're okay. We can communicate, and we're all into the same thing. We're into bikes. We're into going to bike club events, and it's fine. But there's no classic clubs around here, Possibly there is in Riga. There is some classic bike clubs in Latvia, all right. Not this part of Latvia, and the same thing. Would you believe when I went to Riga, I was also looking at the Vespa 300, but and I had thoughts, you know, maybe eventually I could join a Vespa club. But sure, there's only one club in Riga. There's no scooter clubs in Latvia. In Ireland, we had the influence of England from years ago with the mods, and I had Lambrettas and Vespas, and so I had the motorbikes, and I also had the scooters, and I loved them. And I was in a number of scooter clubs in Ireland, going back many years. Missing Link Scooter Club, I was in. They were in Dublin, and I went to a lot of scooter rallies, and I loved it. So Vespa 300. Okay, it's not a two-stroke geared scooter, which is my favorite, like the PXs and the Lambrettas, but the Vespa 300. That's a funny thing as well. Vespa 300. That'll do 110 kilometers an hour all day long. It's a 300cc. Okay, I wouldn't appear at my MC club on a Vespa 300, but it would be interesting, you know. But so the chances of meeting fellow scooters were slim to none, you know, no chance. So it is what it is. They said that, as they say in Latvia. I do talk some crap, don't they? But it's just for content. I gotta, you know, see what your opinions are, you know. But so there's my situation. I'm living in Latvia. We have a wonderful bike club in the town I live in. Great bunch of lads. A lot of them can speak fairly good English, so it's great for me. You could say they're my only friends in Latvia because I don't play football. I don't drink, so I wouldn't be sitting in local places getting drunk all the time, you know. So really the bike club for me all my life it's been bikes since I was a young guy. It's just been motorbikes all my life. So it is what it is, you know. The bike club is fantastic, and I might still get a scooter in the future. That's another thing in the future, but I certainly won't get rid of my bikes. I'll have the Vespa for a bit of fun. This big guy, I don't know if you can see him behind me, he's going for a swim. He's a big old dog enjoying the water in the lake. Okay, folks, I just something for content. So I know a lot of people I know I see online. They're not interested in MCs, and I can understand that. But a lot of lads can go down the local pub and they meet a couple of bikers and they say, "Hey, I'm going out for a drive the weekend. You want to go?" It's not like that here. You don't just bump into people. Like I think there's one pub in our town, an underground pub, which is from what I've heard. I've never seen it because I don't drink, so I'm here 7 years, 6, 7 years. I've never seen this pub, but I believe there's one, and I believe it's not so good. So you know what I mean. Where do we go to meet? Where do we go to meet bike people? Okay, bike events. But then you have the language problem, you know. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to this event on Saturday. Today is Thursday. So in 2 days' time, I'm going to this event in Valmere on Saturday. That's the, what is it? 13th? On the 13th, yeah, of May. So I'll get some video of that. I'll be taking a lot of photographs, but I'll get some video of that just for the channel and just stick the video up. And usually bike events are great fun in Latvia. They'll play a lot of games, and it's really good. A lot of interesting stuff, and I'll show you the bikes that are there. Here, a lot of things like Suzuki VNs. You know, the big Suzukis, the Kawasaki's, the Vulcans, Marauders, B twins, but not so many Harleys. There's a good few Harleys, but a lot of Japanese stuff. And we have a lot of riding clubs who a lot of those lads will be just riding things like the Suzuki Bandits and Yamaha Phasers and Kawasaki's and stuff like that. So that's my meanderings for today. I was just out for a spin. I was testing this tripod with my camera, my phone, with the camera phone, and same with the riding video with the camera. I was just seeing how the phone camera worked out. Maybe next year buy a GoPro. Let's see. When I get to 2,000 subscribers. So maybe in 10 years I'll get a GoPro. I'm nearly at 200 subscribers. Can you believe that? I'd love a few more subscribers. I'll have to think of more interesting content, won't I? Maybe this run of Almere might be interesting for people to watch. They might enjoy looking at that. Okay, so listen, I'm going to sign out. And most people, to the ones who survived this long, thanks very much for listening to me talking complete and utter you know what. So you won't hear me using much language. I don't. Generally, I don't. Online, I don't use it, and I don't use it much. I don't need to. You know what I mean? What's the point? I know some guys to be effing and blinding and stuff, and it's part of the channel, but I don't need it. So maybe that's more entertaining or less entertaining. I've seen people commenting, if you use less language, other people go, if you use less language, you'd have more subscribers. And I remember one time one fellow goes, if you use less language, you'd have more subscribers. Your man's answer was, F you. That was it. So I thought, okay, that's his attitude, It's quite funny. How'd you like the goatee's coming on well, isn't it? I just wish it was silver here as well. All my life, if I've had this sort of a red, brown, silver mixture, maybe I should dye it. What do you think? Get some of this men's dye. Usually dye for silver hair is to make it black. It's not to make dark hair go silver. It's the complete opposite. Okay, folks. Thanks for watching. I love a subscriber too. Any likes, any comments about my silliness would be gratefully accepted. So greetings and all the best from lovely Vilja Ezers in Latgal in Latvia. Peace a lot.